Do I want Crawford? Absolutely. What kind of question is that? See, y'all don't understand, man. I aim for greatness. And what is that? Fighting the best. Crawford says he's the best. I know I'm the best. Let's make the fight happen. First things first, though, we got to knock out this guy out the way. He's in front of me, Jermaine Ortiz.
Wow. Teofimo Lopez continues to call out Terence Bud Crawford. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you follow me on social media as I try to get the page to 50,000. We are working, so make sure you guys follow me there. Now, the video you seen at the beginning, Teofimo Lopez, he was live on his Instagram and on social media. He keeps calling out none other than the first ever men's 2-division champion, Terence Bud Crawford. I don't know exactly what's going on in terms of why Teofimo, outside of what he's saying, unless we just believe what he's saying, because he's saying, I want to prove myself and I believe in fighting the best, this, that, and the third. So I guess we have to take him at face value. Now, my thing is this, regardless of what I say in this video, in terms of my thoughts of the fight, you got to respect Teofimo if he is truly serious about fighting against Terence Crawford, because for anybody in or around Crawford's division, that is a tough challenge. Crawford is always in shape inside the ring. When he doesn't have a fight, he has his own gym. He stays in the gym. It looks like he manages his money and he has, everything he needs, resources. He has a great relationship, it looks like, with his family and his inner circle. So this is a man who is boxing centric, and in that way, you have to liken Terence Crawford to some of the throwback fighters. Again, I don't really know what caused Teofimo to become fixated on fighting against Terence Crawford, but we're here now. Some people are saying Teo really don't want it with Bud Crawford, and it's all a joke, and it's all clout chase and these types of things. But here's the deal. Me personally, I think there are fights that make more sense to me, but I'm a fair and a consistent critic. And you can't keep downing and mentioning somebody's name, and Teofimo's doing interviews saying that Bud is fighting handicap fighters and he ain't really beating no one the best in their best shape and best form. You keep calling it, man. Now you got to get, it gets to a point where nobody can save you. You keep calling this man out. You're in the same profession as him. Y'all both boxers. So he's making me want to see the fight just because he won't leave it alone. I don't know if him and his dad looked at Crawford and they feel they have the formula to beat him. I don't know. I don't really know what caused this, but I'm old school. You can't keep calling this man out and then people are going to just want to see it. And I posted this on my social media. Again, you guys got to follow. Some people were saying that Teofimo would beat him. Like, okay, so let's look at some of the comments. I said, this is not a drill. Teofimo double downs and keeps calling out Terence Crawford. Is this a good idea? Let me know. King Tony said it's cap. I agree. Bigger name, bigger money, work is work. He overlooking Jermaine Ortiz just like he did George Kambosos. And that's a good point. I'll get to that in a second. He doing everything to run away from Haney. I don't really see what Haney has to do with it. Some of y'all say ridiculous things. Like, you can't, I don't know if you guys think about what you say before you type it, like to see if it registers, to see if it makes sense when you're saying it, but that don't make sense. Crawford is in a new weight class. Crawford hasn't made 140, so we know Teofimo would have to move up. Where Crawford has multiple belts, he would have to move up to 47 at the very least. So how could you consider that running from Devin Haney to fight a guy who's bigger and a guy who is further along in his career, older, and has probably more power. Well, not probably. He has more power than Devin Haney. You know what I mean? So that's not what I would call running. You can't say, oh, you ducking this guy and then fight someone who's number one pound for pound and perceived as really the biggest threat to a lot of boxers at welterweight. You know what I mean? Somebody said clout chasing at his finest. He wants no parts of Crawford. You know who's calling you out. He's asking for an 8-week coma. Say what you want to AB Lopez. He arguably had the most convincing win against Lomachenko, and he dominated Taylor. I'm not saying he beats Crawford, but I definitely don't doubt that he wants to fight him. I mean, that's fair. Subriel Matias is calling. See, like a lot of the comments, you guys focus on weird stuff. Bro gotta have a mental illness if he thinks he even wins one round with Bud. That's kind of funny. Delusional Lopez, here we go again. Nah, I seen some people. Yeah, he put the big cap. That's horrible. He put the huge cap. That's funny. Someone said, throw the damn towel for Rocky 4. Nah, bro, I assure you, I don't know if y'all deleted the comment. It was, you get too much heat. There was a comment that said, because I even responded to it. They said Lopez beats Bud, and I was like, do you believe that? Or you want that to happen? Oh, maybe it was on this post, because I did 2 posts. Oh, yeah, here it is, see? I don't be lying. So I made this. Teofimo continues to call out. Somebody says it's an interesting matchup. I wouldn't miss it. But he says, this dude, Fresh Money Inc., he said Teo wins. And I said, do you really believe that? And then somebody else said it's 50-50. I would watch the fight. Bro, you need to call That's what I'm saying. So there are people who are saying that Teofimo beats Bud Crawford. For me, I already picked against Bud, and I was pointed out, you know, me picking against Bud in the Arrow fight proved to not work out in terms of my prediction streak. So I would have to personally rock with Bud over Teofimo. Bud's far more consistent. But before I expand, now a word from the channel's sponsor. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video so we can conclude these thoughts. If your YouTube video's not getting any views, well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We work it.
Crawford, absolutely. What kind of question is that? See, y'all don't understand, man. I aim for greatness. And what is that? Fighting the best.
So there you have it. We are back. Teofimo Lopez. He said that he's aiming for greatness. That's why he keeps calling out none other than Terence Bud Crawford. As I was saying before, for me, Teofimo has had more inconsistent performances, and I'm an old school like mentality in terms of boxing. And for me, I can't go against the consistency that I see when it comes to Terence Crawford. Like, really, if we're really being frank, and let me just cut to the chase, Teofimo in fights like Sandor Martin, Teofimo, because he got dropped a couple times in that fight. Sandor Martin's not even a big puncher. So based on the skill set, natural ability, and experience, and the Lomachenko win, and where Teo's confidence, I feel like he should. I thought he lost to Sandor Martin. Let's be real. I thought he lost that fight, right? So that's one. Then the George Kambosos fight, he got dropped after he was promising that he was going to knock out Kambosos. Now, he almost knocked out Kambosos. He showed power. He definitely hurt him. Even in the Pedro Campa fight, Pedro Campa or whatever, I felt like he got a stoppage, but that it left more to be desired for me personally when I watched that fight for Teofimo Lopez. So for me, Terence Crawford, I mean, he's giving you the same thing like each time out, no matter who he's fighting. That's more of an anomaly. When someone, like, if it's Floyd or if it's like a Tom Brady or Kobe, and you keep getting the same thing, like you got to start giving credit to that person. They're giving you the same type of performance, no matter the style, no matter the age. You know, I get it, Errol Spence. There are some things that I do feel affected Errol Spence, but you know, even still, all Crawford fights almost look the same. All of his fights look like Crawford is victorious at the end. His face is not too marked up. He's smiling at the end and he holding belts. So y'all got to just bow down and give the man credit for that regard. Like, yes, this fight right here, David Avocado, was a mismatch. And we knew that. It was a hometown fight, Omaha fight. We knew it was a mismatch. He broke away from contact and negotiations with Errol Spence. It's not what most boxing fans wanted, but at the end of the day, that's what they got. But at least when you get a guy like Crawford, if he fights someone who's not on paper up to par, he dispatches of them. Like some guys, there are some guys who end up losing to guys that they should have beaten on paper. I've seen it time and time again where like, how you lose to this person? I mean, if I'm being real, even Deontay Wilder recently, all the power he has and new trainer Malik Scott, he ended up losing to somebody that most people, they really thought he was going to knock Joseph Parker out. We just seen Joseph Parker get knocked out a few fights ago. So you got to give props to Terence Crawford for being resilient and being consistent. Consistent every time out, you know what to expect. So I would never pick in a matchup where the guy's bigger and he showed you the skills and he showed you, say it with me, consistency. I could never pick a smaller guy who has showed me inconsistency. And Bud seems to rise to the occasion. All the call outs and him saying that he fought handicapped people, all that type of stuff seems like it makes Bud mad and rise to a different level. He's literally a true competitor in that regard, where he hears all the talk, he wants to punish you even worse. And we even got it for Errol Spence. It wasn't so much that he had all this bad blood for Errol Spence, but the fans did. And the fans said, this is the guy that's going to whoop you. So you seen Crawford, he broke out some of his best arsenal on Errol Spence. So I ain't picking against him unless it's a certain matchup. There's certain guys that I might consider picking against Crawford, but Teofimo at this moment, he's not the one. Now, again, I don't get in the way of the fights. So if Teo wants it and he keep calling this man's name, I would pay for the fight. So regardless of what I think, I would pay for the fight just to see an outcome. Because I don't feel like you should be able to you're in the same industry and you keep calling the man out and then you don't think you ever had to see him. So I hope Teo's not clout chasing. I hope he really wants to fight him. And, you know, Crawford maybe having some flexibility. I don't know. Maybe it's possible he can make the fight. But, you know, you got to give credit for Teo if he really wants it. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Best in the business, and it's not even close.